jumping up as high as we can. I mean, yeah, there's some cool things you can do with that, but that's not the extent of surging. There's a lot of different things you can do that does just as good. It's just a variety. So I always encourage Google. You can see a lot of different examples, and then we'll talk some more on what you like, what you don't like. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sounds
absolutely. Yes.
I want to know what to eat for breakfast. You know, I know you don't want to eat carbs at dinner, and you can eat maybe some carbs at lunch,
Right.
a little bit. Eat most of your carbs at breakfast, but what is that?
Really in the morning, it's and there's good carbs and bad carbs, obviously.
Yeah.
But in the morning, what really kickstarts your metabolism is protein. You're going to see the advanced plan. A lot of people ask me, like, what's the difference between advanced plan and Atkins, right? Because Atkins is a lot of protein. Big difference is Atkins says just protein, cut out all your fat, basically, which is the worst thing to do because your body, again, fat in your body, good fat, helps your body burn fat better. You start cutting all fat out completely, your body goes into fat storage. So what happens is, that's one of the big differences between the advanced plans. You're putting a lot of good fat into your body, good fat, not bad stuff, but a lot of good, fats loaded with, flaxseed or omegas, good fats in your body, which also helps your body start burning fat better. Not a ton of protein, but you do have a lot of protein because there's a lot of benefits of it, but it's, again, quality protein. So there's different things you can do, but if you do, like when I say if you want to have some carbs, that's okay, but give your body a chance to burn it off. So that's why it's always good to do them. If you need to do them in the morning, that's okay. If you do in the morning, like if you're gonna have a workout and you want to have sprouted bread or some like Ezekiel bread or just some whole grains at that point, and then wait 30 minutes or an hour and then start working out, well, you're going to burn that up pretty fast. So you're going to get that knocked out before the evening time. The problem in America is we do kind of the opposite. Most of our carb load is around lunch and dinner, but mainly dinner, which is when you don't really want to have any because most of the time we're just going to go to sleep. We're not running a marathon or working out after dinner. Some people, their schedule is a little different, so they do that. But if you're going to bed and you just have a whole bunch of carbs, basically carbs turn into sugar pretty fast, and your body, again, stores sugar as fat when you're just sleeping. So in the morning, protein kickstarts the metabolism. If you want to put some carbs in, if you like to work out, again, that's why I kind of like it. If you are working out, in the morning, it's pretty good to have a little bit of carbs in you. It gives you a little bit of energy too, because you get some energy from carbs. But there's a lot of good examples, just really in the nutrition plans. But they give you a whole bunch of good examples of different things to put in. The things you want to stay away from carb-wise is again the stuff that's a lot of sugar. So a lot of your your like white flour, white pasta. A lot of your sugars, artificial sweeteners. The more sugar something has in it, it's a lot of carbs. But again, you got to kind of watch the sugar content in what you're having. So yeah. I like doing protein in the morning though. I've actually I don't do the only time. And again, vacation meals, that's the exception. Shannon and me, we'll kind of have some carbs at night, like if we're going to like movie tavern or something. But that's more of a vacation. It's a date night type of a thing. But most of the time now in the mornings, it's all protein. I'll either have turkey bacon or turkey sausage or eggs, or I'll have the perfect protein. I'll have them make a protein shake in the morning as well. So that's kind of what.
Just don't eat carbs.
Yeah, well, you can just kind of if you do eat them, don't try not to have any after lunchtime. It still gives you the whole day or that whole time to burn it off. Yeah, so you can have some. I'm not saying no, but morning or breakfast or lunch, none at dinner, because that gives you again a chance to burn it off. And just making a simple change like that, instead of having it at dinner, move it to lunch. You'll start burning fat better because you're not storing it. You're actually burning it off as the day goes on. Yeah. Good helpful tip on that one. Yes.
I guess she made me think of something that I wanted to ask. Before I started coming to you, I had just started kind of doing Atkins, and they want you to get to where you're burning fat and stuff like that. And so I've been pretty religious about it. In fact, my brother and I didn't go off of it Thanksgiving at all. We ate turkey and and we ate some Dr. Atkins candy bars that we were allowed and things like that, and we didn't feel mistreated at all. But the girlfriend is so close to her weight, she went ahead and you know, ate carbs, and she's had a hard time getting, you know, back in the
Back
zone
on
that
that.
she needs to
Yeah.
be in to lose weight. When you have these date nights and stuff like that, is it like you just do it that one time and you get right back?
Oh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean,
well,
as
we
far as
have
like
to.
what your
No,
body's
I'm
doing?
human too.
Or do
It's
you-
it's
But I'm saying, does it take you
tempting.
weeks
No.
to get back to where you were when you
No,
screw up?
you know, don't call it screwing up. That's number one. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Because you know why? Because you'll feel bad about yourself. No, I'm serious. The people call it I'm cheating. No, you're not. You're a human. My God, I mean, it's okay. You know, that's why it's called a vacation meal. Not a vacation day, not a vacation 3 days or a week. Vacation meal. And you know what? I'll tell you this too. When we go out, because again, there's not a whole lot of things that you go out to eat that are, you know, grass-fed or organic. I mean, we know that going into it. So the next day, yeah, I don't really feel very good after I have a vacation. I don't. But it's okay. You know, I know that's going to happen. Like, it's funny. Like we'll go do that and we'll eat, and that night we're just like, oh, why do we do that? But you know, it's you know, if you're doing this, I'll tell you what. If you're literally out of 7 days, if you're having one vacation meal, you're doing great. If you're having 2 vacation meals out of 7 days, you're doing great, because that means that 19 meals are good. Yeah, you're doing awesome. But just expect to feel not really great the next day, or maybe a few hours after you have your vacation meal, just depending on what you eat, right? That's normal. That's okay.
But it doesn't take you weeks to get back to where you were.
No. Well, I tell you what. Let me. It used to. Didn't take weeks, but it used to take a couple days to get back on track. Which is why I used to just have a vacation day. I would just have whatever I wanted the whole day, and then that I saw was really hard to get back on track. So now Shannon, I'm like, look, I can't keep doing that. So we do vacation, just a meal. So really, like Wednesday and Saturday nights are our date nights. So we those are the times that we go out to eat, and we're like, we don't give each other a hard time on what we're eating. We just kind of, it's okay, and just, you know, we get, it doesn't take near as long. We can go right back to the next morning and, you know, having eggs and shakes and different things like that nature. So just the more you do it, the better you get at it. And that's why it's all about, it's a marathon, guys. It's not a sprint. And so we can always get better, and that's me included. So yeah.
I think it's a way of living, and it takes the body time to change the taste buds, the cravings for the healthier
Right.
foods versus, you know,
Right.
what a person
And you don't go
used to do.
insane either. That's the good news too. You keep your sanity when you have a little bit of a, you know, treat yourself every now and then. I mean, because again, I you know, when I was into nutrition, I mean, like really heavily, I was going nuts because I just basically had, you know, nothing as far as no treat. That is, you're not fun to be around when you're not getting, you know, your little vice. Everybody has a vice on that, but just in moderation. Yeah.
You find over time that as it progresses, you won't crave it. Or
No, absolutely.
desire it as much.
Yeah, and when you start changing, yeah, you're gonna see when you start. The biggest thing though, you start cutting out sugar. It's not fun for a good few weeks, maybe even a month. It's not. You're gonna have cravings, those real pains. That's sugar cravings, by the way. Once you get past it, your body it switches. It goes from burning sugar all the time to it's gonna start burning fat better. And when your body starts burning fat, so many things happen, but your hormones get into balance. You don't have those cravings. And what happens a lot, and I have to really watch this because adjusting, there's a lot of times that I just don't have I don't have a craving at all, and it's kind of spooky because there used to be some times that I wouldn't eat, you know, for a long period of time because I just didn't have a craving. Not that. And that's something I noticed when you start eating better, you're not going to have those hunger pains, those cravings, because you're burning fat. But you still got to watch. You still got to make sure you're eating. So that's something that we've had to really work on. I have to snack a lot when I'm adjusting. So I kind of run into the room and just kind of sit for a second and have some type of a protein bar or a raw food bar just to kind of help help kind of get me through the shift. But there's a lot of times I don't have those cravings like I used to. I used to have them so bad. I mean, everybody that's on sugar, you start changing. You know what I'm talking about. It's just you hate it, but you get through it, and then you don't have as many. So you're right, Robert. You're definitely right. It does go down quite a bit. Yeah, which makes it easier if you do a vacation meal. The next day, you're not going, oh my gosh, I got to have something, bad. You're like, okay, you're like, okay, I need to eat good the next day because I don't really feel, I don't feel really great. From your body, because your body's like, hey, what did you just do? I don't really like this. Get back on eating well. So you'll get there. And that's the cool part about balancing different things. Yes, ma'am.
Sodium nitrates and turkey bacon. Tell me how you feel about that.
Well, nitrates. I mean, obviously that's a toxin. You don't want to have that at all. And if you can find, because there are manufacturers that actually make them without nitrates. What I really like is Emil's, and that's a Central Market. It's not a Central Market brand, but it's a brand. It's called Emil's. They have different things. They have turkey, they have chicken, but it's not just no antibiotics and growth hormones. There's no no nitrates or anything. Actually, these days, people are onto the nitrates. So you see a lot of manufacturers cut that out. They still do the hormones and antibiotics, but a lot of people are more prone. It's like nitrates now are the thing. It's like there's a lot of people that'll cut the nitrates out of meat, which is good, but you got to kind of watch because they still leave the hormones and stuff in it. But nitrates is kind of like on the radar now. So more people are cutting that out of different things. So just again, any type of chemical that's put into meat obviously is going to cause a problem. So yeah, nitrates are big.
So what brand of turkey bacon do you use?
Turkey bacon, Applegate Farms, yeah, that's a good one. There's no nitrates or anything in those. That's the one over there at Central Market. I'm trying to think of the others. That's the one that Shannon and me do. When it comes to like turkey or chicken or anything like that nature, and meals like deli meat is really good. I'm trying to think. Actually, believe it or not, the Central Market organics, chicken breast, they don't have nitrates or anything of that nature in it too, or hormones or anything, and it's free range. And now Central Market, now that I can correct myself from the last workshop, they have grass-fed cattle now. They have grass-fed beef at Central Market, fully grass-fed.
Where do you find that? Because in the meat market, they don't have that.
Yes, they do. You got to look really close.
Oh, yes, I did. I found it.
Yeah, they have. It's just within the last month. So they have a big sign that says where they get it from and everything. But it's New York strip and it's ribeye steak. And yeah, you're right. You got to watch it because it's like a little section, and it's like it's like they're behind each other. But they have it now. So they didn't for a long time. So now I can correct myself saying they do have it. So
The buffalo that they get there, is it all grass fed also?
Yeah, with buffalo, I mean they don't. It's pretty cool because they don't do. Now I don't know about being fully grass fed. I don't think the buffalo is fully grass fed. I do know that buffalo they don't have they don't inject buffalo like they do cows. Buffalo is very clean meat, but again, still same thing. A lot of times they're fed. What a lot of people do is they'll do grass, and then a lot of times, like I've had people tell me two different things. I've had a lot of people tell me that they do grass, and then the last 90 days for for their butchered, they start putting a lot of grain in to fatten them up. That's typically what a lot of manufacturers do. Then you have a lot of other people, like for some reason somebody told me that they do grain fed, and in the last 90 days they do grass to kind of change the way they market the meat, which is again not really what you want in your meat. You want it as grass fed as you can. But you're typically, the rule is your bison, your lamb, stuff like that. These are meats that traditionally aren't injected at all with anything. It's the cattle that are quite a bit. And turkey and chicken are these days too. But the grass-fed cattle, they have guidelines. They're never fed grain. It's fully grass, and there's so many more benefits to that. And there's good fat in that meat too. So yeah. Yep. All right, guys. Well, just make sure to get into a surge class if you haven't. I promise you, Dr. Asher will go easy on you. And we have a makeover coming up the 15th, so definitely even if you've been to one, get into another makeover because you can't keep. gotta keep learning. You gotta keep learning.